press there than in any game. It's crazy, isn't it? They kick off constantly. Like, it's like, have you ever been? Obviously, when you've been there on your ways, but when it's Burnley versus Blackburn, they like shut both towns down. Yeah. Like, they don't just shut. Say it's playing at Burnley, they don't just shut Burnley down. They shut Blackburn down.
Both towns, not shut them down.
What else is going on in fucking Blackburn though? In terms of crap towns of the north.
Wow.
What?
I mean,
who's going to defend Blackburn.
I mean,
true.
The away end at Upton.
What is it? You're a crap town.
The away end at Ewood's decent.
Off.
Used to be. We used to get like 2 tiers, didn't we? We used to get decent allocation. The last time we played there, was it the cup game?
I can't remember.
Yeah, cup game.
I went there the season we drew with the league with City. I went there then. But yeah, it was good. It was a good away end.
It's a big end. You get the whole end, don't you?
Yeah. I've not got much else there. I'm trying. I
didn't
cover
always
rains.
6 years. When United played there, always rained.
Well, that's because it always rains. I was doing
stuff Remy once, and we had the fucking front row seats, and he didn't have a coat. He got absolutely drenched.
Basics.
Yeah. And if anyone doesn't know, and you should, who's Remy named after?
Moses.
Remy Moses. Yeah. Do you remember Remy Moses? Because I only vaguely. Vaguely.
When did he leave?
He retired in about 85, 86. He got a bad ankle injury and went to Amsterdam and went on the missing list.
Really?
But you know the thing about it is, he was one of the toughest players I've seen playing for United, but he could play football as well. And if he wouldn't have got that injury, easy in England team, easy.
Yeah, he was unlucky with injuries.
99 is my first game in it, so
it's.
Do you know what I find really funny? I was talking to someone about this the other day in terms of how a lot of that 80s United team were a bit crap, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, we weren't.
I'll let Webby come in here because you remember it. But I mean, if we're going to be honest,
we were all right.
There was Paul McGrath's, there was Remy Moses's, there was Norman Whiteside's, but there was a few Terry Gibsons and
Peter Davenport.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone seems to have a fond memory of what was essentially a crap team because it had a couple of characters who you might use, your Robbo, your Whiteside, you know, people like that in there. Did they carry it and it was a little bit of the rest?
Robbo carried us, basically. You know what I mean?
You made that point.
We had some, don't get me wrong, we had some great players, but we just didn't, we always done well against the big clubs and mess up against the likes of Ipswich and Norwich. You know, and it always cost us, but don't get me wrong, we was more of a cup team under the likes of Big Ron. We had, like saying, we had some great players, but when push come to shove.
Why was that team more fondly remembered then? Because I don't think anyone's looking at our Europa League win from a few years ago and going, hey, do you know what? What a set of lads they were.
Right, Mkhitaryan, what a guy.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, no.
Oh, give me a bit of Lindelof in 2007.
Do you think there was a better connection between the players and the fans?
Yeah.
Did that help? Because you can buy into it then, can't you? Because my old man always talks about, like, even things like bumping into him. You bump into him in the sands.
Did have time for you.
In Stretford, and you
could have time for you if you're in town walking through and you bumped into Jesper Olsen.
Yeah.
He'd talk to you. He wouldn't try and get away or blank you.
Sometimes that can help, can't it? Do you know little things like that? Because I think part of the problem...
He used to connect to you, win, lose or draw. He was always, when we was away, he was always coming to our end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously, if we got beat, he was upset. But at least he come to us, not straight down the tunnel like they do nowadays.
Yeah.
But
I think that
some great
pisses me off, that. Like, whether you're going to get booed or not, which I don't necessarily agree with, but whether you're going to get fucking pelters off us or not, take it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah. When I'm there, I've had lads who lost their minds when players don't clap and come over. Personally, I've not been bothered because I'm a bit of a sulking anyway, and I'm a bit like, I'm not bothered. But I get it. I get even the optics if it doesn't look great when you're trudging off.
Mate, some of my best away days, we've been battered.
Yeah.
And we've had a fucking right good time.
Regardless
of the game.
The worst bit of the trip was the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We've had a few.
Some of the blags we've done and all the rifling and pillaging over the years. You've got in the game and we've got beat and you think, we could have stayed in the boozer. But you've travelled like 200 odd miles, so you've gone in, and in those days, a lot of away games you would pay in a turnstile. You know, there was no ticket or anything like that. You'd get there early, you'd pay in.
Would you pay in, Webby, really?
All day long I would. Yeah. Might not have been my money, but I paid in. You know what I mean? No, but like
I was disappointed in you for a split second, but you redeemed yourself.
But going on to Remy Moses, going back to what you said there, he could play football, and you'll always remember the game against Barcelona, you know, the battles with Houston, and, you know, I always remember being at Highbury's, I might have been 13 or something, and he got sent off for breaking Paul Davis's leg, and it was one of the worst tackles I've ever seen. But I always remember Remy, big afro, and saying to the referee, I got the ball.
Really?
I think his leg was in the North Bank and his body was in the main stand. No, but if you wouldn't have been injured, you know, people forget about that. And we were talking to Sammy Matt last night about, obviously, when Robbo signed on the pitch against Wolverhampton and Robbo was coming to replace Sammy Mack and he got an hat-trick. But people forget about Moses being part of the deal. You know, I think Moses was something like 200,000.
Yeah.
No part of that deal, and it was class.
Roll that back. Think about this, right?
Go on.
The moving parts in this are a madness because obviously Brian Robson was United's technical first £1 million player, even though they sort of didn't say how much of that was Moses, whether that was for pressure on either player or whether it was because the £1 million mark people just didn't want to fuck with. Robbo turned out to be the bargain of all bargains, really. Although at the time, I think he was something like 30-40% of our turnover at the time, which is like us signing a £250 million player now. So that's how much money it was.
Oh, right, okay.
There's 3 times United have done that. Rio, maybe Rio or Varane, one of those two.
Yeah.
Even though they was basically the same time, weren't they? Dennis Law, I think 250 grand was it? That was like 40% of United's turnover. A Robbo at $1 million was a just mind-blowing amount of money. Like most of our signings.
When you put it like that, it makes sense. Because I know a lot of people, they try to compare our transfers to now and our fees and then just get it completely wrong. But like you say, bargain, worth every penny. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking hell. Well, to be fair, I think all 3 of them.
Yeah.
All 3 of them were pretty fucking good. Maybe not Varane.
No, but do you know what? I don't know if you watched Phil Fellas. Rio was on there last night and they did the United Arsenal draft. So you can pick any player, Premier League era in your team, but it's a draft, so you've only got, you know, you both can't pick Thierry Henry, you both can't pick Ruud van Nistelrooy or Keane or whatever, and he picked Varane. You mate, Rio.
Did he?
He picked Varane as his.
Was he just having a wind up?
No, he was saying, he said like one of the best midfielders I've ever seen. Like
I love
he said
Varane.
he was the player's playmaker or something. He called him.
Do you know what? I think Varane gets a bad rap because of the price and what we lost him for. But there was a couple of derbies where he was at it.
Yeah.
But I think
I think he was a step ahead of some of the players. You've seen some of his passes, and we could see him.
Yeah.
And he looked mint, but then it just didn't happen. And I just think he was at the wrong time.
Yeah.
I think he was a class player.
Oh, he was great. When he was great at Lazio. When we got him, I thought
I was buzzing,
I
mate.
was jumping up and down the sofa.
Yeah, I thought.
I think it was a CFAX day.
Cancel
my
the Premier
fucking
League.
God, we've
Cancel
done
football. We've won it.
won 3 in a row and bought him.
And
Get the fuck
and then we
out.
finished 3rd. Yeah, but guess who else he picked in his midfield, you mate? A United player. And everyone was laughing at this.
Got to be Keano.
It can't be Keane.
No
one's laughing at Keane.
No, he picked Keano, but he didn't.
No, but seeing that bit on Twitter, that clown at ours, he was laughing at Keane saying Declan Rice. Is he a pudding or what?
Yeah, he's a pudding. One of them's laughing when I think
That's got to be a wind up.
Why would I laugh?
No, because at United he didn't really do a lot, but he did. I thought he was mint in Martial's debut. He had a great game in that. It goes under the radar. One of the best midfield performances I've seen.
Schweinsteiger?
Yeah, picked him.
No, he didn't.
He did.
I'm going to text him.
But I think he was saying not for his performance at United as a midfielder.
It was classic.
Yeah,
unit.
it was. That was his point he was making, and I get that because we never saw Schweinsteiger, did we?
No.
Do you know what I mean? We saw him for like 10 games. And
if I'm doing a United Arsenal draft,
yeah,
there's no one outside of Vieira, Henry, or Adams I'm even considering.
From them, what?
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fair enough. I would have gone full.
Am I missing anyone there, do you reckon? In my time of watching,
yeah.
90 onwards. Adams was belting.
Adams, yeah, he did. Fergie loved Adams, didn't he?
Yeah.
He always says in his book, he says, people think there's something going on with me and Tony Adams because they always praised him, but he was just a great player and a great leader.
I used to like Overmars.
He was good.
He was good.
Player.
I didn't like him in '98, but he was good.
Yeah, he was a good player.
Yeah.
I used to like Limpar. I thought he was a top player in his time. Top player in his time.
There's no one else that really stands out that I would have gone.
From the Premier League era.
About Steve Morrow.
Steve, remember when Tony Adams broke his arm?
He lifted him up, won it in the cup final.
He missed the cup final. That's class.
There's
not like you say Vieira, Henry, Adams.
Bergkamp.
Not having him over Cantona.
Yeah, there's not.
Oh, not a prayer.
There's not like because I think a lot of them were good, but not like oh my god.
What am I picking Ray Parlour over anyone that's wore a United shirt? I don't fucking think so.
I mean, like Ashley Cole says, producer Joe. Yeah, Ashley Cole.
Over Irwin.
If it's a draft though, if you had third choice for your left back,
yeah, if your third choice on left back,
you'd probably go with Ashley Cole. I think that's a decent shout. That, but other than that,
not really anyone else.
They've had a few decent ones. Like
Mercer
Petit was alright. Emmanuel Petit was alright.
I thought he could take games. Petit, yeah.
But there was no like.
What, Keown? No.
I feel like
Threatened a police horse,
when they
The
won
old
those
fuck.
leagues, like it was more because we messed up a bit than they just stayed.
Well, 98 we lost Keane because he had no fucking knee,
Yeah,
and we just lost Eric.
yeah.
Imagine taking Cantona and Roy Keane out of a team and thinking it'll do as well.
No. Well,
And I'm sure there was something else happening.
To be
in that
fair,
game
we
as well, like.
we lost Keane for much of the season, didn't we? At Leeds, Ellen Road, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they like to have the conspiracy theory that led to Erling Haaland signing for Man City, not the £200 million that Man City have given him wages and signing on fee.
No,
It was because Keano.
I think if United had gone
his
for him
dad.
before he went to. Who did he go to before?
Salzburg.
Was it
Salzburg.
Yeah, I think if we'd have got him before Salzburg, because that's when Ollie tried to get
I
him
wanted to
signed.
ask you that, Webby. I know you might only be able to tell us certain things, but your mate, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I mean it, I use your mate, did an interview with Andy Mitten, who's our mate, all our mates. What did you make of it? You read it?
No.
Right, okay.
No, I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, but he didn't name names,
No.
but he said a lot of the players...
I don't think you need to name
No.
names, to
I
be honest.
saw a bloke in a motor. Do you know what motor Ollie drives?
Probably got about 3 or 4. I wouldn't know.
Go on.
No, don't matter then.
Right. Was it that
Go on, who's
going
it?
to be a little bit of a...
No, I saw a bloke in a motor with the registration 20 OGS. And I only caught the side of him and I was like...
Surely
gotta
he
be
wouldn't do
Ollie.
that, would he?
Why not? I would if I was him.
With a mural of you scoring that winner on the
Yeah. Do you remember? Is that still a thing? Do you remember when like players and cricket players used to have the name on the side of the car when they were sponsored?
Yeah.
I remember I always just see Phil De Freitas' car near my house because it had not near my
Yeah.
house, sorry, near where I worked because it had Phil De Freitas.
It was more cricket and rugby you had that.
Yeah,
'cause my
yeah,
mate,
it was.
I've got
used to have
yeah,
I've
yeah.
got Audi.
Yeah.
I was
I've got a pal-
desperate
sorry.
for an Audi when I was at Salford.
Yeah.
And I got fucked off before I passed my test.
I remember my
You
pal
are
used to
David
play
Beckham.
for Warrington, Lee Braze. Great lad, Braze.
Yeah.
Some nights out with him.
What's his name?
Lee Braze.
I know Lee. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know him. I've interviewed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brazy, and he had a sponsored car, and he went out on a beer with me, and he couldn't remember where
This
he
when he was
parked
at
it.
Salford or when he was at
No, he
Warrington?
was at Warrington. You know,
Right.
he spoke to him the other days over in Australia, and I was loving it.
Coaching.
Yeah, character, absolute character, and a top player, by the way.
Oh, was he?
Do you know what? I used to love covering rugby because I'm not a rugby fan, but like remember like the grand
I
final.
used to go to Warrington Wolseley all the
Yeah,
time.
I covered when they had their parade in the
Yeah,
town. The whole
yeah.
town come out for it.
I'll tell you a quick story
Go
about
on.
that. This is funny. So they're playing Wigan in the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, not the
It's
grand
live.
final,
It's
yeah, the Challenge
live.
Cup final,
It's
that's what I'm
live
about.
on BBC, and
Yeah.
it's done in gas done in. You can't get a bit around. So Brazy's got me in the exec there.
Where's this? Sorry.
This is at Warrington.
Right, yeah.
Their gaff. So Warrington won the game. So I've had a night drink on top of myself. I've only come down, got into the dressing room, not having the cameras.
Yeah.
You see that Paul Cullen trying to throw me out. See me live on BBC there. Let's see with you there. No, that's some great, some top lads up there. They're all top lads.
Yeah.
But Bray's a top player and top lad, and I'm glad he's enjoying himself in Australia. He took his family out there and he's loving it.
Because when I used to cover the rugby, I remember covering the Challenge Cup final at Old Trafford, and I think it was it? I can't remember where it was. Was it Wigan?
Sure, it's Challenge Cup
Wigan.
final?
No, Super League final.
Super
Grand
League
final?
final. Sorry, it was Wigan and I think it was Wigan Warrington. It might have been. I can't remember, but I know I should remember it. I was covering it, but it was years ago, and they let you in the change rooms afterwards, interviewing the players. It was only like local radio. Do you know what I mean?
just
Like,
bounced
come
in.
yeah.
I just
And
bounced in,
yeah.
me.
Well,
No one to stop me. And
Webby
then-
don't even need that. He just
and then
walks in.
he's gone to me, who are you? And I've gone, who are you? So I'm the manager. I said, I'm Brazy's mate. And next thing I just...
thrown it round.
All right,
I
yeah,
slung him.
Yeah,
I
I'm his
slung
mate,
him.
yeah.
Slung him. But no, it's a different cat. The proper lads, those rugby lads.
Yeah.
You hear them when you speak to the referee. They call them sir. Like, Brazy used to call the referee sir.
Really?
Have I done wrong, sir? You know what I mean?
It was mad to me as well when we went there. And, like, you'd have fans of other teams that were there as well, man. It was like
Yeah.
for the
For
final.
years, me and Ben used to go and watch the Super League Grand Final. I mean, I'm a Salford fan, like, but Salford never get into it. And then obviously we got to one a couple of years ago.
Yeah. That was
Got
mad.
fucking battered.
That was mad. Can you remember years ago, Steve? They used to have like the first division final and on the same day, didn't they? So you had like 20 odd teams. Because what they do, each club has to sell so many tickets, don't they? And it's a day out for their fans.
Yeah, it's a thing that's... You probably wouldn't get it with the FA Cup final because it's too hot of a ticket and everyone wants
Would
to
you
go.
go and watch a cup final if your team wanted it? To be honest, Steve?
No. But that was the thing with the grand final with Super League is like literally in all my time of supporting Salford, we'd never got... I remember literally, I was doing some work with Warrington.
I remember you
'cause
did,
then-
I remember that.
Yeah,
Speaking
the
to you
new
about,
gaffer,
yeah.
the chairman. I used to play with him. He was at Salford when I was at Salford. He asked us to come do a little bit of presenting around Warrington's thing, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to ask me, but I remember literally having a phone call with my dad saying, if I get the chance to go, because they was in the Challenge Cup final, I said, I've never been to Challenge Cup final ever, like, because they're always at Wembley and Salford don't get there. And I was like, I might go, if they get the chance. Yeah. And then that year, Salford gets to the fucking grand final, and you're just like, how deluded you are. You think we got a chance,
Yeah.
We got a chance, especially with Jackson playing, because he was a fucking player and a half.
He's a good lad as well. He also held football a few times. Obviously, come and watch United before he left, but great lad.
What a fucking player!
Oh
he
yeah,
was,
top player.
He might have been one of the best players in the world. How Salford ended up with that, I don't fucking know. Yeah.
That's mint.
I think no one watched it. Second was that much of a loon, but I think he fitted in right in Salford. So fair play to him.
That's the
top and bottom, yeah.
Stand out in Salford's
top and bottom, yeah.
So it was a fucking hell of a player, and he basically was the X factor in getting Salford to a final. And they've recovered well from losing him actually, and done all right again since.
Well, obviously, watching it, I quite like watching it, and it's a big. Salford could still get in the playoffs tonight, but they've got to hope Warrington get beat and some other results. No, but for the crowd they get, I watch them there and thinking they're getting 2,500, 3,000. How are they surviving? You know what I mean? And I try and go and watch them as much as I can, but
it's Rugby League's fault because it's on Sky, the same as the Premier League is in England at least. It's on Sky, but they don't do any promotion of it. Like the way it's marketed, like we spoke about this on XG Files a couple of times. So Papa John's, I'm not even sure if it's still the sponsor, but a couple of years ago, Papa John's became the sponsor of Super League, which whether you watch rugby or not, it's either the second most watched sport. As in Rugby League in Britain, or it's the third most watched sport. That's it. It's second or third, depending on where rugby union's at the time. The sponsorship that Papa John's got for the Super League, right, to sponsor the second biggest league in a country. What do you reckon he paid, or what do you reckon the deal was? Because paid is going a bit giddy, to be honest with you.
Go on.
Well, they didn't pay.
What?
There was no 5 mil to sponsor the league. It was, we will give pizzas to the teams after the game. What in the Sunday League Football Club is this? And that's what you go, Rugby League.
Pizzas?
We just spoke, Tony Adams was the president of the RFL, and you're like, they get random people in just because they're like, well, he's a big name. But what does he know about rugby? Has he ever been to Wakefield? What the fuck are we doing? Can Tony Adams point to fucking Castleford?
No.
On a map. Fuck me. And it's embarrassing because it is a great sport.
Yeah.
And it's just marketed by fucking morons.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's an M62 led sport.
Yeah.
But even in those places, it's so fucking minor compared to what it genuinely should be. Because for me, behind football and maybe MMA, it is the most exciting sport to go and watch. Rugby union can fuck off because that's boring and too much fucking technical rules and stuff. If you want to see someone getting fucking mullered and a fast, exciting kind of game, it's ice hockey on grass, mate. Just fucking get in a mix with it.
It was ice hockey on snow when Salford went to the AJ Bell and they had to play on that snow. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And they had to because Sky were covering it, and they were basically saying if you don't play,
you don't get your dough. You don't get your dough.
And players were getting legs cut to ribbons, weren't they?
Ring it open.
It was horrible, but they had to because they needed the dough.
I remember years ago watching it. The great Wigan team. You can name them. But the pitches they played on then, it was just mud baths, wasn't they?
Yeah.
Martin Fire was at Salford when I was there.
Martin Fire, Henderson Gill.
Ellery Hanley was
Ellery Hanley, Gregory, Sean Edwards.
Gregory was our gaffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.
May or may not have 17 pints a day.
Anyway,
as you probably know, fresh ball fall, or what was it we said? Decorum, scrotum.
I could have called that one fresh ball fall, to be honest. We knew that was going to be
fresh ball fall is here. And you need to be in the festive spirit. Light a candle, get some pumpkin spice, and make sure your balls look nice. Yes, Manscaped have got you covered. So nature may clear the leaves off the trees, but Manscaped help you get ready for that sweater weather, apparently. Get your pants puppies prepared for cuffing season. And I'm not just reading this, I'm making it up as I go along. With a trim as refreshing as a fall breeze by going to manscaped.com and using the code HOUSEN. Yeah, so when you think of your balls, I want you to think of Housen. for 20% off and free shipping. And I know what you're going to say.
Think about your scrotum.
When you think you scrotum, I want you to think Stephen Howson. Yeah? That's what I do. Yeah? So just think of that, Howson. What are you going to get for 20% off and free shipping? I know that's what you're going to ask me, Steve, aren't you? You say, Jay, what am I getting? Yeah. Right, I'll tell you. You get a lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, yeah? You get a performance package 4.0. So you got the lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. You've got the crop preserver. You've got the crop toner. You've got the shed crop toner. You've got the shed travel bag. You've got the boxer briefs, yeah? You've got all that good stuff. You've got the advanced skin-safe technology. Because you want that, don't you? You don't want to just use anything that hasn't got advanced skin-safe technology. Not when you're dealing with something as essential as your balls. So go and check out the code. Go and check out the link in the description. Use the code Howson. You're going to get a performance package. You're going to get the lawnmower 4.0. You're going to get the shed travel bag. You're going to get the boxer briefs. You're going to get the crop preserver, the crop toner. Just think Howson, yeah? Use the code. Use the link in the description. 20% off and free shipping. Your scrotum will thank you this autumn, or your balls will thank you this fall. Big thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this podcast. Michael Dyson, who's been a member of the Academy for 90 months, says, fun fact, my granddad was the Man United club doctor from 63 to 96. All the players knew him as the Doc, and he was pally with Fergie. Very proud.
How did they come up with that nickname?
I don't know. Maybe because, 63 was before Dockett, wasn't it? So I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting that. Very clever one, though. Peter Kelly has been a member of the Academy for 38 months, says, in Tyrone, our GAA Championship has a few sponsors, and the man of the match gets a free fuel voucher, and ours is an amateur sport, even though we train like pros. You get a free fuel voucher. To be honest with you, nowadays, that's worth a lot of money.
Of course it is.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's probably better than getting cash.
We covered some of the, I think it might have been RXG, or it might have been with me and Ash. We looked at some of the man of the match awards that you get around the world. Carlisle do a curry. There's a picture of Joe Riley getting a curry at Carlisle, and the face on him is like, is this fucking real? Like,
can you remember well, I don't think you remember, we played York City in the League Cup.
What, 97?
Mate, you might have been in...
Like the Pat McGibbon one when he got sent off.
And he got the man of the match. That kid whose dad plays for Newcastle now, is it Barnes? Is it Barnes?
Harvey Barnes?
His dad played.
Right.
I'm sure it was, and he got a BMX. And he was riding around the top of the tunnel on a BMX. That's what he won. He won a BMX. They beat us 3-0, and I think we beat him down there 2-0, but it wasn't good enough. Yeah, he got a BMX. Seen a few kids there who were riding it up, like, you know what I mean?
Right. You done with that bike? I wonder if we could introduce that at Paddock and just come up with, like, what's this? This is a Violator mop and bucket.
Yeah, you should do that.
Man of the match mop.
You get proper random gifts if you win man of the match. I love all that, mate.
What's this? This is a can of squirty cream. Give us your suggestions for shit man of the match awards.
Shit man of the match awards. Also,
£10 maximum value.
If you've seen some good man of the match awards, send me the links or let me know and we'll get them up on the screen. The mind body life. I can't see this. It's covered. Crouch says the mind body life coach. Sorry, because it was covered. Sorry about that. Says I'm from Widnes and this town used to be pure rugby league, but it's dying a horrible death. Steve's right. The powers that be have no clue. So it's not just. Football, where the powers that be have no clue.
No, football looked positively fucking well run compared to rugby league. Yeah. Like, I'm not a hardcore rugby league fan. I'm too busy, but I definitely am a casual fan. I'll go to a couple of Salford games a year.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more if I can manage it. And sometimes I can't keep up with the rule changes and it's not rule changes to the game. The game hasn't changed at all, really. It's the rule changes to how the fuck you qualify. The playoffs, like back in the 90s, when it probably peaked in it, Super League. You're looking at top 5. You come first, you get a bye.
Yeah.
And then you've got second, third, fourth, and fifth. Knock it out into a whatever, and you end up with a grand final as.
And then if you lose, and you've got another chance next week, but you're playing away, then you think...
Now, they went to a Super 8. There's 12 in the fucking league, lad. Our 8 of us in the playoffs out of 12. You literally can just fuck off the entire season, go fucking mountain biking, come back and be like, right then, should we get cracking now? Yeah. Insane. Absolutely, genuinely insane. And then... it changes all the time, and like you said, you've got. Well, did you lose by an odd number when you get a lucky dip prize and you're back in against Widnes away? Like, it's fucking nuts. You can't keep up. It's ridiculous.
You could lose a game and still win it in the playoffs. It's mad. Just straight knockout.
I've found some interesting man of the match awards. I'm going to quiz you two.
All right.
Right. Now, Karonga United in Malawi. I'm sure you both
Yeah.
Know them well. Yeah.
Not bad.
The striker, Hassan Kajoki.
Yeah.
Oh, him.
Yeah. He got a brace.
2 eyes fella. No.
Yeah, him. You know him. Yeah. Dark hair. He got a brace as his side, thumped their opposition 5-0, winning the Man of the Match award. Do you know what he got?
Well done, son.
Yeah, he deserves it.
A cow.
Do you know what? You're very close.
Live
You're
chicken.
very... Yes! He's got it!
What was it?
Live chicken.
What? How have you got that into? Guess it's you two. Hey,
I've seen some of these before.
I'm amazed with that.
No, you just went, he was close to the cow. Knew it had to be chicken.
But you coming up with a cow straight away.
There'll be one on there, Stephen Glass with a mountain bike after winning the Scottish League Cup final. About
Oh, he's got it, he is. Aberdeen.
Wait, 1990, I want to say 6.
Oh, you've hit the post. 95.
Oh, God.
95, bro. This lad, Gaelic football, Club Wicklow, presented their hurler, Daniel Staunton,
Crash Bandicoot.
with a prized bag of potatoes.
Bag of potatoes.
There you go, son. Well done. Here's a bag of
Here's a bag
spuds.
of
Dude,
spuds.
fuck
Good
all
night.
for stereotypes there, lads.
And I love this one as well, right? Forgive me here, because this is like a load of letters put together in random order, but it is a name, and I'm going to try and say it. Forgive me if I butcher it. So, Mamelodi Sundown skipper, Hilomfo Kikana, his brilliant display warranted him...
Wait, just stop there. Say the name again.
Right, he plays for...
No, just say the name again.
Hilomfo Kikana.
No, what the first part of what you just said was.
Mamelodi Sundowns.
Right, this sounds like a Cat in the Hat poem of some sort.
Mamelodi Sundowns skipper, Hilomfo Kikana.
Yeah, that sounds like a children's book thing.
Well, do you know what?
By the way, why are all kids' books about poo nowadays?
The dinosaur that pooed the moon and all that. If you get them ones, yeah.
The dinosaur that pooed a pirate ship.
Yeah, that pooed out Christmas.
I'm lost here.
Honestly.
You think we're joking?
No.
I don't believe you. But
Every
doesn't
fucking
surprise
kid's
me.
book is about poo.
Started to poo.
Who pooed in the zoo? Well,
Yeah,
everyone, you
it's just
fucking idiot,
poo.
obviously.
Yeah, honestly.
What, monkeys, the rhino, that fucking...
Think about it, children's authors. Get better. Anyway, my man, he did a really good performance for the Sundowns, and he got the award of...
1 gigabyte of data.
Oh, you've nailed it. 5 gigabyte. So you can tell your mates what a great game you had. Here's 5 gigabyte of data.
Unbelievable.
Hey? Here's one for you.
Go on, let me get another one.
Right, this is Martin Odegaard. So when Martin Odegaard was at Real Sociedad, he won Player of the Month.
Case of wine.
No.
Spanish ham.
Close. Close. Very close. You're in the right...
Bread.
Yeah, nearly. You sort of...
Cheese.
Fish.
Fish.
A fish.
A fish.
A big fish.
All right, fair
But
play.
he got given a fish. Eh?
Is it dead?
Yeah.
All right.
Mate. And I think the worst one, this is in terms of monetary value, it's got to be from River Plate goalkeeper Franco Armani.
Wait. Is this Burger King?
Yeah.
I tell you what.
He didn't get a Burger King. He got a Burger King hat.
Seen it?
I've seen some of that. Yeah.
Well done, son. You got a Burger King hat. Hey, seriously. I mean, some of the faces on these pictures are hilarious as well.
Talking about hats, I want to tell you the second part of the Wembley.
I'm so glad
Can we have a little recap?
So glad I fucking finished my brew.
Yeah, me too. Although last time I dribbled on myself.
And it's only because when I left here last time, when I got to the door, I remembered it.
Right. So just to recap, your mate Skip Rat.
Yeah, Skip Rat. Pedro Pete.
Pedro Pete.
Yeah.
Just tell us the little story.
Any of them
about his
any of
trip
them
to
names
Wembley.
are given names?
So basically, Pete used to
did.
come in the pub, he used to collect the pots and the cans, weigh all the cans in.
Yeah.
Obviously, United fan, we used to check in with us and match, but now obviously we get to the cup final, so he wants to come. Yeah. So
Wait, recap this. So Skip Rat's the one that you wrote. Was it I Got a Gun or something like that?
Yeah.
How did you get him into the cup final?
So we got him into the cup final. Sam Smart put on a betting slip. Let me in, I've got a gun. So he thinks it's a ticket. The turnstile bloke seen it. Let him in. You know what I mean? You're coming up against an absolute
Why does he think it's a ticket, Webby?
Because he's not all there, to be honest. You know what I mean? Great lad, Peter. But what I forgot though, we dressed him up on the day. It's just sort of forgot. So we've got a German helmet on him. Yeah. We've got a German helmet on him, so he's wore this all day, leaving Miles Platt in on the coach wherever we stop, and on the front of it, can I swear? I swear.
That ship has sailed. Do what you want.
Right. So on the front
That's
of
the
it,
least of our
so on the
worries.
front of it, Sam Smart has written, or Barmy Kev, or Mad Eyes has written, "Fuck the IRA."
Right. Okay.
Right. And on the back it's got "Fuck the Germans."
Right.
So he's had this on his napper all day. So imagine you coming, you're at the Wembley there, you're on your little turnstile, you've got an absolute lunatic for Miles Platin with a German helmet on with "Fuck the IRA" written on it.
Said I've got a gun.
And I've got a gun.
Yeah, you go,
You know.
I'm not paid enough to care about that. And you go, enjoy the game. Next.
Enjoy the game.
So he got in.
He got in and we seen him at half time going in and disappeared for 3 or 4 days. He never come back on the course with us, so we was getting him at him.
3 or 4 days.
How have you got back from London? And I won't come in here because the family showed some of the things we said to him. But he's still going now, and I sent you the picture, didn't I, of him?
Yeah, he looks well.
He looks well.
He's doing well. Yeah.
He's a good lad.
Really?
He sent me a picture that night of him and Skip Rat.
Yeah,
And
Skip Rat.
yeah.
No way a man called Skip Rat's doing well, brothers.
Let's just say the picture that Webby sent me wasn't a surprise. Like I wasn't like.
He looked like I jumped on him in the shop, didn't I? I think he was shoplifting. And I've just gone in from work and there, Skip Rat down the aisles and thinking he's not paying for that. He's not got any Bugs Bunny to pay for that. You know what I mean? No, but
Skip Rat doing a bit of shoplifting. Bless him. There he goes.
Good lad.
Good lad.
Good laugh. Small time.
But there's plenty more stories, and I'll save them. I'll get them all at once. But some of the characters I used to go to matches with and play football with, absolute. These people have gone now in Manchester. Yeah. You know, they're not around. They're still around, but they're oldest men now. Jailed, yeah. Some of them are in jail, yeah. You know, you got the likes of Tommy Dunn. You know, if you don't know Tommy Dunn,
I know Tommy.
Tommy
was
was
on the channel.
Oh yeah, Tommy's a great lad.
Carl Power.
Yeah, so Tommy was the brains behind that.
I think my dad was it.
The programme, obviously, getting on at Munich, and then young Tommy was hitting up at Wimbledon, centre court,
so
with his black trainers on.
That was all I did him. That was the only reason he got caught.
And I remember him ringing me. He rang me, he's gone, "Where are you?" So I said, "I'm in town." He went, "Can you get to a telly?" So I went, "Why? What you up to now?" He said, "We're at the cricket with Headingley." So the next thing, England lose a wicket, Fatnex walks out with his bat, he got away to the middle, and his mobile's rang. He's just dropped his bat down and answered his mobile. And it was an absolute, just to see it there. And one of the things he did as well was...
locked up now, do you reckon? They probably do you under the Terrorism Act.
Yeah, he probably will.
Well, he done that thing, didn't he? That noise inside the studio at... Was it Wolves in the cup match?
The fighting?
No, that was at the snooker. No, the sex sound with Lineker.
Right.
That was another Tommy play. But I also remember
No, he still at it. I've seen him in Hotel Football not long ago, Tommy.
Yeah. And he done the river dance at the winning podium in the Grand Prix. That was hilarious. He done the acca at the rugby. Now Tommy's a great lad. He loves United. Never always sends me a video if I'm at the away game of him inside the ground. And I've asked him how you get in. He said, "Webby, shut your effing mouth." He gets in every game. And no doubt he'll be stood next to me at Burnley tomorrow night without a Wilson Pickett in his pocket. Not just him, about 4 of his kids and half his street. They're all blagging it. Fair play to him. Never bought a ticket in his life. Never bought a ticket.
You know, in '99, he was telling me, Fergie recognised him.
Have you seen a video? Yeah, Fergie used to speak to him. Fergie used to speak to him on his camcorder. Yeah. So he'd do the main press conference and Tommy would be out and he'd give him 30 seconds. And there's one of them there where Tommy's blagged onto the United coach and he's asking Fergie, and Fergie's not like said, "Get him off." Yeah. He said, and he just carried on speaking to him. I think it was into Milan away. Tommy's an absolute top lad.
We had him on Devil's Days, him and Carl, because they told us about their best pranks, like you say, Silverstone and Headingley, and and he said, I think he said like he blags it, never.
I always remember the program. There's a program about him. They were sponsored by Spam. Unbelievable. Tommy likes a bit of Spam.
We're through the looking glass here.
But the thing was, they played it.
Words come up here today that I just did not expect.
They were sponsored by Spam.
They played the programme, the United versus 7 at Old Trafford when Scholes scored that reamer and we beat them 3-1. So a lot of Reds wouldn't have seen it because they were at the match. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a bad time to put it out, but I've watched it on YouTube and everyone gets a chance to watch it. Pranksters, Tommy Dunn, Fat Neck, half of Tommy's kids, mint. hour and a half there, television.
Someone's got a serious
better than
question.
Coronation Stars.
Someone has a serious question, and I've lost it. But I've lost who asked it, but I can remember it. Forgive me, I've forgotten who asked it. Where did you get a German helmet from in Mount Platin?
We got it from the Army and Navy store in town here.
All right, sorry for this.
On Tip Street?
Yeah, someone went in and...
obviously.
Forgot to pay for it. No, didn't pay a thing then.
Just say they bought it, Webby.
Yeah, they bought it, They bought it with $18.99 it was.
Right. Derek Best says, who's worse? You've been a member of the Academy for 33 months. Children's book writers or journalists?
We both write shit.
Have you seen that shit story today?
Yeah.
Have you seen that shit story today? Even
Onana dropped his car keys.
Who?
Onana dropped his car keys.
And someone's put it in.
Put it in the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, that didn't surprise me, Daily Mail.
No. Jacoya Trott has been a member of the Academy for 28 months, says, thanks again for a proper laugh at the end of a stressful week. Much respect to Webby from Bermuda. You lot helped me on a drive across the island. Loads of people just laughing.
Hang on.
Listen.
How fucking big's Bermuda?
Bermuda?
Yeah.
It's about the size of Salford, isn't it?
Doesn't look like Salford. I can tell you that, mate. Fucking hell.
Like, someone goes, you helped me on a drive across Alaska.
Yeah.
Or I did like the Sahara Desert.
It's 21 miles long.
21 miles.
I don't know why I'm pointing there, because that's where it is, but people probably think he wants to point out.
So it's one side of Greater Manchester to the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk about him getting in without a Wilson Pickett, as you'd say. What about you? You must have done some jobs, yeah.
Done a few. You got him, haven't you? Sometimes, when there's no.
Yeah, and you like to share with us, so won't get you in trouble.
There was one where, to the truth, this.
I believe you.
I blagged in at Ibra and told him it was Andy Cole's brother, and I got in. And I tell you, who was next to me who blagged it as well was Choppo, the midget from Beswick. You know Choppo, don't you? The midget.
I think the little person is the correct terminology.
It is now. So I love a little story about Choppo. He's just been made officially got into the.
Can't cope.
Thing at United and Older Disabled. He's a massive red Choppo.
Right, good lad.
And when we won the league at Southampton, was it start of April? Obviously, we'd blagged the trade.
He's not a massive red, is he?
We'd blagged the trade, and the Hector comes down for the Wilson Picketts, and we've gone to him. Leave the little man. He's dead. The Hector, every time we got back to the Hector's head's gone. He's had us lot on, he's rattling all day, drinking, smoking, doing all sorts of stuff, and he's actually think we're going to buy a ticket. And then what had happened then, we started throwing him about.
Why is he dead?
He just said, he's just gone, leave him, mate, he's dead.
All right, cool, got a dead guy in my train, don't worry about it.
The next thing, we launched him around his carriage. Christ's sake. The good old days when we had the top laugh and we had a top team.
Throwing disabled people around a carriage. You said you're Andy Cole's brother?
You only had it.
There's no mirrors in your house.
There's
no mirrors in your house.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I managed to get in.
Jesus wept. So that works then?
Yeah, got in with that, Got into the main stand at Arsenal. Played, I was daft and I left my ticket home for, I think it was Aston Villa away, and they felt sorry for me.
Really?
But then they started going over the top. Asking me, do I want blankets, do I want water bottles, and to keep warm. It's freezing. Look, in the middle of December. If you went to Villa Park in December, it's freezing.
Why are they looking after you? Because you forgot your ticket?
Because I was a bit like Skip Rat.
What? Go on.
Yeah. So that's what it was.
Wait, no, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I think we just move on.
Right, okay.
You just move on.
Yeah, you're right. That's the most sensible thing.
I only want to get in the ground. Right, I didn't want all the royalties.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Next thing he wanted me to be there when it was a man of match, but I just wanted to get back to Salford. You know what I mean? It was about 10:30 o'clock at night. Last thing you want to be hanging around Villa Park. You know what I mean?
Anyway. Dino 1969.
Starting a petition for Webby to be on every week.
Listen, I'm co-signing that. I'm signing immediately. Dino 1969 says, yes, Webby, good old days. Dino from Beswick.
Oh dear, top lad.
Yeah?
Top lad.
Good lad.
All the Beswick lads, you Barmy Kevs and all that, they just United daft. And I remember Barmy Kev ringing me up one night, middle of winter, Webby, what you up to on a night? Nothing, Kev, do you want to come watch the reserves at Birmingham? That's what he's like, Kev. He loves United. I don't think he's missed a match. He goes on all the tours. Everyone knows Barmy Kev. You see his flag at all the tours and Beswick. That's Barmy Kev's flag. Great lad, top footballer. And when I finish here, I'm going to have a pint with him. He's round the corner waiting with a few old Reds.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I'm going to... So,
which way, whereabouts, just so when I come out the Gaff, I can make sure.
The tavern we're going in. They've been in there since about 12 o'clock. So
yeah, I'll make sure I go the other way.
Which one?
There's a picture of the tavern at the bottom there. Just going to go in and have a. It's good to see all the lads, because some of them don't get to the match now because they skin. They just can't get there. They're not some of them are not in great health. So we always try and meet up once every couple of months. And
it's good that.
It's good. Ian, Man United reserves. Ian will be there.
Acorn Electron says Webby should be presenting Match of the Day. That would be one great episode when you did that.
Can you imagine?
Imagine the Carnos on that.
Mate, honestly, it'd be hilarious.
Danny Murphy, second minute headbutt. You know what I mean? Slung out.
No, actually, roll it back. I want to know. So, I've just been weirdly appointed Director General of the BBC. Right.
Yeah.
Don't know how that happened. But
admin error.
Yeah.
These things happen.
I'm making Webby Gary Lineker's role. Right,
okay, good.
For Match of the Day.
I'm going to say Wayne Lineker then.
No.
He's going to walk. Go on. Sorry, Steve. Sorry. Go on.
I'm going to give you the option to pick your two co-hosts. I want to know who your co-hosts are. Can't have two Reds, you know the game.
Oh,
so I need
co-hosts.
Two co-hosts.
I'd have for banter, Peter Crouch, just for banter.
Really?
Yeah, just for banter.
Bit PG though, isn't it?
Yeah, true. To be honest, I'd have Martin Keogh on, just so I could just look at him and just mullered him one. Because he absolutely hates United, done. He hated us when he played, and he just... No, I'll tell you what I'd have on. That plant pot used to play for Villa, who never won a bowl of soup. A bomb Lahan, whatever he's called. What an utter... you just have to see what
he comes across like he's got Velcro trainers, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's not. He's not the brightest.
Did he get to a cup final once with Villa?
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he's got a runners-up medal.
He's got two.
He's got two.
He got one against us, didn't he?
League Cup and FA Cup runners-up medals.
And he just hates United, so I'd have him on.
Ruined his childhood.
And I'll have Keogh on, and I'll just have a baseball bat at the side. And when it goes to the matches, it goes. You go in the studio and it goes to the match. Bang, bang.
It'd be the one great episode before they cancel it.
Yeah, it'd be great. There's
talk of them cancelling Football Focus now. I don't know how it's going.
Why?
I know. Mike for
Football
hang on a minute. David Jackson says Webby is absolutely class. Jordan Clark says Webby a true mank. He's mint. Someone said I missed it, but it made me laugh because he went. Andy Cole's not even from Manchester. Did they not recognise Webby's accent? Yes, because that's the issue here with that idea, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
The accent.
However, did they fall for it?
Do you know who were black? Do you remember the old boys? They having a main door at Arsenal. Not obviously security to what it is now. It was one of the old boys with the old jacket on about 100 and odd. I went, good ticket there. Who's Andy Cole's brother? Oh yeah. And I'm thinking, well, no, he's had it here, straight in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just like
but like now, remember United years ago down the South Stand Tunnel, used to have the concierge.
Yeah.
And not the security now. And there was all sorts going in there because they wasn't there for that, you know what I mean? And football had moved on, and the blaggers had moved on. And if you could get in there, get a few pints and something to eat, they were getting past an old boy easier than they probably do now. But I don't know. I got him with Andy Cole's brother, but I did.
There used to be loads of ways, didn't we? We had Steve Black on. You know Steve Black, don't we? Yeah. He was saying how different ways. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I've been to some matches. Obviously, couldn't do it now because I'm too old. But I've gone on the turnstiles, as a kid when my mum didn't have any money. Yeah. Just had my bus fare from Clayton. And it was either that or you weren't going in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A few of them back in the day, but now obviously got no chance.
No, we were saying about, obviously we're playing Burnley at the weekend, and I remember playing them. I think if some people could come on here, it might be mid-80s. We played them in the League Cup away. Right. I think it was when the two-legged. Remember the one where the second round you'd have two legs, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And there's a United like league match ticket book holder. You used to get that game free, believe it or not. You used to get the game free. And then we played Burnley away. And they were selling bottles of pills in the ground.
Yeah.
Can you imagine half time? Oh, unbelievable. One went over.
Yeah.
One come back and that was fucking it, then bang! All through the second half. Throwing bottles of pills at each other. Empty like.
Yeah, obviously.
But, imagine...
It could have been dangerous if they were full.
I know.
It's unbelievable. He was just like, what's that just flew past me? There's a bottle of pills. All right, is it? Bang! I forget what it's got to be like mid-80s.
Happier, simpler times. Steve, what are you up to this weekend?
We got a game. Webby, you local tomorrow before the game?
You got Droylsden?
Yeah,
what
2
time?
o'clock. So
I'll
you
try
can
and
do
get over there because I'm on the old bandit bus. I think we're leaving about 4.
That's early, isn't it, for a Burnley one?
That's late.
Yeah.
I did say I was going to come up if I can't make it tomorrow because my lad's been to watch it a few times. And he's very impressed. He lives up in
Fucking 10-0
Drawsden.
last time we was at Drawsden.
Say again?
Well, that's why I took my fingers off. But we won 10-0 last time we was at Drawsden.
So there you go. You want to see full games and goals.
Tomorrow's
I did watch you the other year, Stephen. You could see the promise there. You know, and it's moved on, and I've watched the videos on YouTube. Some good players there. You know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
we looked tasty. I mean, it went off last weekend, so the game got abandoned.
Go on.
I'll show you the video.
Yeah,
it's quite fun. But yeah, it got abandoned. I don't think it'll be any aggro this week. It should just be a pretty straightforward.
Was that a league game last week? Yeah.
2-0 up, 20 minutes gone. We don't want it abandoned, and obviously they couldn't get the fucking nets down quick enough, to be honest, as soon as the ref fucked off. So, bit disappointed with that because I'm pretty certain it was a 3 points coming our way. We look fucking sensational. If we start like that tomorrow, we'll be off like a rocket. But if you're in the area tomorrow,
get down,
free entry, you get on the tram. It's a weird game, and it's Saturday 8:00.
Yeah. So there's time though. There's time to do your stuff and
Saturday 8:00. You know, massive game. You know.
Must win almost, isn't it?
It is a lot of
we
pressure,
say that,
you know
we
what I mean?
don't win,
Because,
it's not over, but
I watched a bit of Burnley against Forest, and
football matches.
They got that winning goal disallowed, and Company's going to have them up because who it is, and whoever, even if Company want to manage and it's still Dyche or anybody, Man United in town are going to be up. United have got to be up for it tomorrow. They've got to battle, they've got to run, they've got to play for this year. I want to see some character, you know, because saying before to the lads before we started off all right. And then when we see him lose a goal, our heads go.
Yeah.
And not just one or two. I looked at Rashford against Brighton when they was kicking off for the second goal. It was like, I just took your ball from the park and popped it and he was devilled.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, years ago, I've been to matches and you've been to matches where we've been 2-0 down and thought, we still win this.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, we had that, and it wasn't until the referee blew his whistle that you knew you got beat. But even with a minute to go, you still think we could win. But you know, Burnley are struggling like us. You know, we've got to win tomorrow. We've got to win by hook or by crook.
Just as the players start, as Varane gets back, as Amrabat gets back, as Mount
Is any of them
gets
going
back.
to be involved tomorrow?
He did a press conference before. I don't know what he said, and he also could not be telling the truth as well. So
I don't know, but he addressed the situation with Sancho. He just said he's not available. Said nothing's changed. Basically, it sounds like Sancho's still not apologised on that front. He also answered a question about these supposed leaks.
Yeah.
There's been stories about leaking and stuff like that, and he just said that he said, I don't know if it's a leak, but I know opinion, I know my players, everyone can make suggestions, we are okay with it. At United, you have to win every game, so it doesn't change anything. As always, it's about how we play against Burnley. There's no easy game, definitely not against Burnley. So he's come in with the approach, Eric Ten Hag, if it's his way. And I like that.
It's his way or no way.
I just thought the board back him out to stay with him.
I was at that do last night at Old Trafford. It was a 60th.
I saw the pictures of you.
60th anniversary since George Best made his debut at Old Trafford. There was kid.
Was you there for his debut?
No, I wasn't, unfortunately. I was working. So there was a lot of people there. Kiddo was there. Jimmy Nesbitt, top lad.
Doing the maths there and going, I think he was being sarcastic.
But I got told last night from a good source. Now I don't know how true it is. You might be able to put this on.
Go on.
About Wan-Bissaka still lives in London.
No.
That's what, and his kid is well in at the club.
Really?
And he was adamant. I'm thinking,
I believe he's either got a missus or he's doing a lot of commuting back.
Yeah, which is no good.
No, which is one of the dramas that we had with Saha.
And Mourinho.
Yeah, and Mourinho was living in the hotel, wasn't he? Which I'm going to be honest.
Which was shit. He should have had an house. Because you remember when he first come.
Better than any house we've ever lived in, no man.
Yeah, but remember when he first come and there was pictures of him looking at house and then it just went, and then didn't we play? We played in London and he kept us down there in an hotel, kept the team down there, but he moved the hotel to be near to his house, and he was getting a rattler every morning down. I don't want to see that in a manager.
No.
You know what I mean? I remember seeing Fergie in the petrol station near me filling up. It was mint. 6:30 one morning. I thought, that's what you want. Getting to work, getting to training early, dodging a bullet by filling your car up in Salford at 6:30 in the morning, because
he knows
these clowns are still about. You know, they're trying to be at it.
In answer to your question, Harry Maguire, Rafael Varane, Sofyan Amrabat and Mason Mount says all four players could be in the squad for United this weekend as they return from injury.
Okay.
So they could be about. Webby, when are you coming next on this channel, on this podcast? Because
we don't want you on the others.
No, forget that.
I can't come next Friday because I'm looking after Vidic.
another normal sentence that you hear on Stretford Paddock. That's worse than one of your lot. That. One of your. That's the sort of thing.
I'm looking forward to that next week.
Where is it? Is he doing a live show?
He's doing a show, there's always a little Wilson Pickey if you want to see me, Steve, you know what I mean?
Hey,
my mate, Ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you were interviewing him, didn't you, with your other mate, Rio?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that, because I don't know him personally, because obviously I'd left, you know what I mean? But he was a lunatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember Wes telling me one day in training, he went in for an head and half, his nose was hanging off, and he just said, pass us the tissue. A lot of players now would be on the back stretchers. You won't see him. Philip Jones, you'd see him next Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is he still with us, Phil?
No,
Jones?
he's left. He's doing a bit.
No, he's left the club, but what's he doing?
He's still alive, like.
Oh yeah,
he's doing some.
But saying how old is he, Phil Jones?
31, I think. He
should still be playing, shouldn't he?
He's not old.
He should still be playing, shouldn't he?
I think his heart's not in it anymore.
Well, he's had all that Bugs Bunny for the last 3 or 4 years, hasn't he? You know what I mean?
Bugs Bunnies, Wilson Pickett's, you get it all on it.
You know what I mean? I think Phil Jones and. I remember that statement with Ferguson saying about the next Duncan Edwards and all that, which was over the top. Yeah. And I thought he was half right, but then
you missed that one.
Yeah. I thought he was half right.
He was half right in the sense of he's a player for Manchester United.
Remember, he played in a cup match last year, and he was our best player. He played in the first.
I don't know about best player.
No, but he did well.
I think we had the expectation on the floor, and he exceeded our expectation of him.
You're right, because people were like, everyone was expecting him to be a complete car crash because he was all right. Everyone was like, "Oh,
he should still be playing the game of football."
He should, but
he'll look back one day.
He's been playing since he was 17, I think, in the top flight. 18, sorry, in the top flight. But Blackburn.
He's only played about 60 games.
Something's happened. That he's just not.
No, I just thought he'd find a team and he'd come back and maybe not in the Premiership, but somewhere maybe around League One Championship where he could do a job for him if he stays fit. Obviously, that's a big word, but for him not to do anything,
he won't fucking get in my team the way he is at the minute.
Fair enough.
I might bring a fucking signing on form for Vidic though if he's still here Saturday morning.
Yeah. He's flying back at 6 o'clock in the morning.
So that's that one out the window. Otherwise he would have played.
So it'll be the following Friday.
You're in the following Friday. We're booking you in then, yeah?
Book us in.
Right, following Friday. Week on Friday, you're here. Yeah? So we can have more of the Webby stories. Yeah. And then probably that'll be the last podcast before the legal team have to take over. Webby, always a pleasure. Go and check out Webby and O'Neill. Webby's channel, if you've not done already. Go and check out Stretford Paddock FC and Stephen Howson TV, if you're not doing that already. Go and check out Manscaped as well, using the code Howson. There's a link in the description. That's been Darren Webb. That's been Stephen Howson. I'm Jay Motti. This has been The Brew. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.